The next section that we're going to cover is your introduction section, the purpose, rationale, and history of the problem section, and then your literature review section. Your introduction. Per APA 6, you are no longer able to type the word introduction. You are to type the title of your project here. You'll notice the running head here and a page number. Whatever page number comes after your table of contents, that's the page number you start with. Again, most page numbers will start with page 4. Most introductions will start with page 4. But whatever number is after your table of contents, that's the number, your page number you're going to record here. So in your introduction here, you are to broadly introduce your topic. For example, if you're doing type 2 diabetic nutritional plans for a school nurse, your introduction should include information on what type 2 diabetes is, some stats on the prevalence of the problem in the U.S. Or the state, and any other pertinent information that you want to include. Most times students have to go to a website here or get some type of information to kind of include and reference with your introduction material. And that's fine that you do that. But what I don't want you to do is make a total section or break out any type of section for specific information. In other words, if you're talking about the prevalence, I don't want you to make another section that says prevalence here. I just want other information included in the introduction section. So again, don't break out any other section. Don't type anything specific out. Just type all the information in your introduction as part of your introduction. So you're going to basically cover stats, prevalence of the problem. Again, you're broadly introducing your topic when you're talking in your introduction. The next section that you're going to write is going to be your purpose, rationale, and history of the problem section. In this section, you need to identify the purpose of your project and why you needed to complete this project. Okay, so whatever it is that you and your nurse leader discuss in a nutshell about what you needed to do and why you need to do it, that's what you're going to be including in this project. So you might say the purpose of this project is to develop meal plans for type 2 diabetics identified at Mansfield School. It is imperative that teachers, administrators, and meal planners understand the nutritional needs of children who have this type of diabetes. That might be something you might say, okay? In addition, the history of the problem as it specifically relates to the organization, school, or unit needs to be included in this section as well. So if you were doing type 2 diabetics, I'm saying that you then should look at what is specifically going on at that particular school. There was a 20% increase in type 2 children with type 2 diabetes. There's been an increase in hypoglycemic episodes, and teachers need to know what type of nutritional information to give to students. Whatever it is that specifically relates to that organization, school, or unit is what you need to uncover. I don't want you to include some broad topic of, diabetes in the United States, because that doesn't really cover what the history of the problem is for the school. Okay? And I think that's about it. And then in the literature review, this literature review is there's two things going on with the literature review. First, if your nurse leader has asked you to do a literature review, she wants some evidence-based practice research, she wants you to get some extensive information, then you need to follow what your nurse leader has asked you to do. Maybe she's told you to get 10 articles. Then you need to go find those 10 articles, and then you need to do the literature review based on what she's asked. But say your nurse leader has not mentioned the literature review to you, you guys never discussed it, you don't even know if she wants this information, then you need to go find one article, a minimum of one article about your topic, and have a literature review on that. Okay? You can do a maximum of 3. So 1 to 3, if you are doing this on your own and you think this is some great information that you can impart to your leader, then you can do a maximum of 3 articles. If not, if your nurse leader has never, if your nurse leader mentions to you that she wants a specific number of articles or that she wants an extensive literature review, then you need to follow what she says. Most times, if a nurse leader has asked a student to do a literature review, then it's usually about 4 to 7 articles. 10 articles might be a little bit much, but again, you do whatever it is that she asks you to do. And then you need to make sure that it's a concise integration of your articles. You need to, really make a case for whatever it is that you're doing your literature review on with those articles, and paying close attention to your APA 6 when you do your literature review. So just to reiterate, if your nurse leaders ask you to do something specific, follow your nurse leader. If your nurse leader never mentioned anything to you about a literature review, you still must do a literature review. You may have just only one article, a minimum of one article, a maximum of 3. Okay, so everybody does a literature review. If there's any questions about that whatsoever, please ask.